It is tax season, if you didn't know. When you hand over your taxes to an expert and hopefully get your big return, right? You may not think twice about it.
Right. Fox 23 investigative reporter Jana Clark is here with a warning that you should definitely take a hard look at your taxes before you sign the documents. It's her latest Fox 23 investigation.
The person you trust to do your taxes may not be trustworthy. So I found out some things you need to watch out for to protect yourself.
You'd be amazed how many folks that we come in contact with after they've been scammed.
Christopher Altimas is a special agent with the IRS. One thing he investigates, the people filling out your taxes. The individual or the company that you're paying to prepare the taxes, they may not be doing it right.
Correct.
And it could be fraudulent.
It could rise the level of fraud and criminal activity.
This is how it works. The preparer fills out your tax forms and defrauds the IRS.
We're talking about egregious, fraudulent figures on the return where you didn't donate $50,000 to charity, but that's what's on your return. You
get back a much bigger tax return than you should really get, and that's how preparers are committing the crime.
You're so fixated on that large refund. That's all you care about. They get me the biggest money, the most, amounts as quickly as possible. You fixate on that number. You actually don't get down to why is that number as large as it is.
What do they get out of it?
So they typically will have the fees that they charge you, right, as a customer and client. And so they increase their clientele because word of mouth spreads that this individual or this business can get you that larger refund than the guy next door.
But when the IRS does an audit on you and sees your taxes were done incorrectly, the preparer can be criminally charged. Elizabeth Sands out of Guyman, Oklahoma, pleaded guilty for tax return preparer fraud in January. And last year, a federal judge sentenced a Texas tax preparer, Hugo Cesar Granados, to 14 years in prison. Also last year, the IRS indicted a trio of tax professionals in a $1 billion tax scheme. But if you get audited and your tax preparer gets in trouble, guess who's responsible for paying back the government the money? You are the one holding the bag.
Yes, you're ultimately responsible to pay back the money. We won't prosecute you criminally. We'll obviously prosecute the return payer. However, financially, you're still the one that received that large refund.
Christopher says penalties and interest could be tacked on too.
So it may feel really good initially that you got this large refund, but a few years into the future, you may be paying back a significant more to the IRS due to fraud.
He says if the return you're supposed to get seems high, that's a red flag. Before you sign, look at the forms and the line items.
That'll capture 99% of that fraudulent activity is if you just ask them, why is this number here? Why is that number there?
How do you pick a tax preparer? How do you know who you can trust?
That's an excellent question. To me, again, it's just doing that due diligence and making sure that you have somebody explain to you what numbers they're putting down and why. That's going to ultimately protect you from audits or fraud.
Christopher says you can't necessarily trust an established CPA who's been doing taxes for years. He says the IRS has also busted tax professionals with years of experience in doing taxes the right way, then all of a sudden started defrauding the IRS. The key, look over everything yourself before you sign. Covering news that matters, Jana Clark, Fox 23 News.
Do you have a tip or issue that you think Jana Clark should investigate? Let us know. Email Fox23 Investigates at fox23.com or call 918-388-5354 or search Fox 23 Jana Clark on Facebook.